Hello, my name is Will Danheim, and I'm principal cellist with the opera and the Ozarks Orchestra. I'm also working on my doctorate degree at the University of Houston. I have a master's degree from Baylor, and in between those two things, I taught high school as an orchestra director. I've also spent time as a private lessons teacher, and I've been a judge for high school auditions. One of the things that I want to emphasize is that those metronome markings are not all mandatory. Read the instructions carefully and ask your teachers. But I've been a judge before, and if I'm listening to an etude or an excerpt and it's really fast, but there's notes that are missing, what I prefer is someone that plays a little bit slower with more notes, more rhythms, and a better tone quality. So keep it in mind when you're working on these pieces, that those metronome markings, again, read the instructions, but not all of them are mandatory. Some of them are just a general idea, and you can be within 10 clicks of that. Again, ask your teacher for clarification if you have any doubts about that. But I have been a judge, and I think that that's important to say, and some people forget that you're not recording with a metronome on. It's just you, and you're playing your instrument, and what's important is the idea of the piece. And if you can convey the general feel of the piece at a lower tempo, then I encourage you to do so. And good luck, and congratulations just on learning the music and being interested. You should just already be proud that you're getting better. D major scale in 3 octaves. I'm going to play it slowly and talk to you about fingerings. These fingerings are options. You do not have to do them. If you have another fingering that works for you, that's fine. This is what I do. Start on first finger D. I go to open. Shift to first finger E. Shift to first finger A. Now that lands me on a third finger C sharp, and I shift a half step to the D, because on the way down I always want to shift to a third finger. And now shift to third finger A natural. I go to fourth finger. First finger, open. Fourth finger. D major. E melodic minor, 3 octaves. I start with the second finger. Shift to first. Extend. First finger E. Shift to first finger D sharp. First finger G. First finger C sharp. Extend D natural. Third finger D. Fourth finger F sharp. C natural, second finger. On the way up, you're doing C sharps and D sharps. On the way down, you're doing the D naturals and the C naturals. E melodic minor scale, 3 octaves. The Franz von Suppe Poet and Peasant Overture cello solo. This part in the music happens at about a minute into the piece. Listen to a recording of it on YouTube. There's just a harp playing underneath the cello solo in the orchestral version. It's 1, then 2 loudly, 3 loudly, very pretty. Otherwise, take that mezzo forte and write espressivo underneath it. We want vibrato, we want tone, a ringing sound is what we're going for. It's hard to read the music a little bit. Second line, second measure. I play first finger. I shift to first finger A. I reach for that third finger, C sharp. Then I shift to a third finger, G sharp. Second finger, C sharp. And then first finger. Now if you look at the last line, first note, I've got a second finger going for this G natural. I shift to third finger here. Shift up on a second finger to a C sharp. And then I go for first finger on this A sharp, B, shift to third finger, G sharp, first finger. Now I do third finger. Brahms, Symphony Number 1, fourth movement. There are 2 beats per measure. So on the part is marked half note equals 72. I would start somewhere around 60 and see if you can just kind of say the rhythm with me. So let's assume that this is 60. So bum 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 da 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 da. 2, 3, 4, boom bum 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 ba da da dee da 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 da. I would try that several times. If you look at the second line, the first measure, that's the one that I have the most trouble with. So it's dum bum bum ba da da dum. That's where the pattern changes. So what I'm going to do is play this at that tempo. Beethoven's Symphony Number 9, fourth movement. I'm going to briefly demonstrate how to practice it. If you have dotted quarter note equals approximately 80, that's 3 notes per click. I would do small sections and make sure that you don't use much bow. Here's from the beginning of the excerpt at that tempo. The instructions of these say the excerpts should be at a tempo which is clean, in tune, and conveys the integrity and emotional content of the music. So if you work your way from 80 up until 88 and a final tempo north of that, a little bit faster, That's what I would do. This dotted quarter note equals 132, in my opinion, is unsustainable for the duration of the excerpt. So out of all the excerpts, I think this is the one that you need to do detailed practice, smaller groups, bring it up in increments. I'm going to demonstrate it under tempo, and I hope that you get an idea of the flow for the piece, because you can't find this in the recording of Beethoven's actual symphony. So I'm hoping that you can use this recording to get an idea. Feel free to pause and put in fingerings as you see me do them. Beethoven Symphony Number 9, Fourth Movement.